Ladies and Germans, how are you all doing? This is Conalwork.
And I'm Ringru. Hello, hello, hello.
And folks, this is going to kick off our coverage of Steel Division this week. I know we didn't put up a video last Thursday. I think, Frank, we had a bit of a bug in that replay, didn't we?
Yeah, it pretty much it's rather funny. Recasted his replay. It's like a 3v3 using his mod. You see the mod actually in the next game. But we got like halfway through it, or actually all the way to the end, and then we realized, oh, it was bugged because the replay, the units weren't moving. So
It was
it was
only
like,
the German side, so maybe
yeah,
it was either a command decision or, yeah.
yeah. The replay just shut itself, and we didn't really know what to do until the end, and kind of
Well,
like used up a lot of time.
exactly. And as opposed to trying to give you something that had a bug in it, we figured we'd wait until, we can give you some solid games like this one on Colomboles. In fact, we haven't seen the map in a long bit of time, and actually we're already off. So, Rank, who do we have? Who's fighting it? What are we doing?
Left hand side, blue, Theoman, 222, Asgard armored. Right hand side, Sombra, Axis, 716th Infantry Division. And Sombra sending a lot of stuff into the factory, which is rather, standard for his division on this map.
Well, it's curious for us to actually see the 716th. I was saying to you just before we started casting this that it's always so interesting to watch how an infantry division opens up as opposed to an armor division, especially ones of the caliber,
Yeah.
no pun intended, of the guards.
Oh yeah, I mean, you really just have like, it's just trucks, there's really not much in terms of armor, so it's just all about, getting into buildings and defensive positions and just holding early on. And this Pack 40 is in a lovely position to shoot at Cromwell.
I guess the question is if he does actually get that hit. No, of course, since he doesn't have suspensors, he's not going to hit like that easily.
Oh no, no command as well, so the Pack 40's a little bit
Oh,
inaccurate.
wow.
A bouncer! That's a bit of a shame, yeah.
Well, meanwhile, to the north, there was a pop gun who is flirting with the idea of shooting at one of those half-tracks that's at the factory. That's not going to happen, though. Just as well. And the Pack 40 continually frustrated as basically anything that has a, track or wheels moves out of range.
Yeah, and the Pack 40 isn't exactly in the best cover being in the middle of an open road, so definitely a good idea to get him out of there.
It is worth noting, actually, down to the south, that other little pop gun there was able to take out, was that a half-track?
Yeah, it's probably, a half-track
Yeah.
with motorized rifles inside,
Yep.
but motor rifles survived.
But talk to me about the factory face-off here. How's this going to work?
It's a rather interesting early game, as surprise, or quite surprising that Theoman really has the CQC advantage. Of his riflemen and motorized rifles have better CQC weapons, aka two submachine guns compared to the Ostroop. And same time, Sombra, he has artillery. I mean, right now just has a small little 50mm mortar, but he may have an A-phase Lorraine. And when you're playing 716th, it's really all about Lorraine spam, I find. Or B2s. B2s are also pretty good.
Very true. Of course, the issue is on Colomboles, if you are an infantry division, you're not going to be taken to the south. That's much more guards armor territory. I'm surprised we actually have not seen more of an investment of the armored vehicles down to the south. I would think that infantry Cromwell would have been better placed down that direction.
Yeah, I'm thinking so too. He tried to knock out that infantry. He has his Cromwell in the middle, but he tried moving that through the middle, but kind of got scared off by the Pack 40. So he's just kind of sitting here, not really doing anything interesting. But we're all seeing the Saxon being brought out, and that is a fantastic play against 716th. Really good counter.
Well, like you said, I mean, if we get the Lorraines in, that's great, but Lorraines are expensive, and they take an awful long time, and I feel like the Sexton just has a much better firepower curve,
And it's longer range, like double range, which is
it's
nice.
pretty much everything.
Almost double. But yeah, it's you can never go wrong with Saxons. Like, it's not like a single division where you'd be like, I don't want Saxons. When you get Saxons, you bloody take the Saxons.
Interesting thing to remember about this, though, is the Guards Armored is going to be heavily dependent on the vehicles for a lot of their earlier, let's say, anti-tank. Especially in the factory complex, there's nothing that's going to be able to engage this B2.
Oh, it's a bit of a shame, yeah. He doesn't have any motorized rifles for Theoman, which would be... I mean, it's only a Piat, but, it might be able to hit the B2.
Well, especially since the Piat kind of accuracy we've been seeing recently. But, curious decision by Sombra to actually put the B2 inside the factory.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to treat it as an infantry unit, kind of. But it's a bit risky. It's maneuvering. Fortunately, there's no handheld AT to punish him, so it's gonna pay off.
It certainly is. Whoa! Top Gun takes out that Cromwell.
That was a snipe and a half. He barely had like line of sight if you look at the pop gun.
Yep.
Damn.
Yep.
Lucky bugger.
One of those rare occasions I've heard that size does not matter. In the meantime, though, there's another pop gun to the north, and actually there's a Stuart as well. And the Stewie can go after the Osttrooper, but that's just fine for Sombra. You show the positions, and we'll just shoot you right back.
Then at range, the Stewie is not going to be doing much damage. You really have to get within that 600-meter distance for the machine guns to start doing the work for that little Stewie.
Well, and let's just consider at the same time, too, like, big freaking deal. You engage an Osttrooper, and that's not exactly the banner victory.
They're designed to get shot at.
Yes, yes. Who cares about the Slavs? I mean,
from a German-speaking period in 1944, we're talking about in that sort of period. The Germans were very bad people. The Germans in World War II, the Nazi Party in World War II, were very bad people.
Thank you. I appreciate that. A lot of qualifiers there.
Yeah, that was an explanation and a half. Kept tripping up on the reg.
We are going to see, looks like an IG-18 to the south, and yes, there is in fact a Lorraine. So. I don't think that's really going to clear things up any for the Germans now that the Lorraine has come.
Yeah.
But I'll say it's a rather plucky idea.
The Lorraine's it's a really great unit for 7/16 as it's a mobile unit, which it's nice first up, but also it does a crap ton of damage. 27 HE power. You can't kill tanks with it, but you can scare them. And you can scare other soft... Not scare, but you can also blow up soft targets, of course, because it makes big kabooms.
Indeed it does. It was interesting enough to see the Pak-37 be engaged in that Stuart 6 and forcing him back. Even more terrifying, I have actually never really seen a Pak-37 being utilized in any kind of effective way. It feels like they're always... Their squad size is so small, they lack the durability.
Yeah.
Of the more committed troops.
Yeah, it's just a slightly crappier Pak-30 game. Even losing that 1 AP is actually quite a big deal, because a lot of the Allied units are pretty well armoured in any phase. Yes, it can still penetrate the Sturies and Cromwells in this case, but it's still not exactly, the best chances. The 1 AP is like an extra 8% difference on average, so it's a pretty big deal.
Indeed it is. Now, Panzer Shrek can take out this half-track.
Oh, come on.
Fires the missile.
I think Hans got it facing the wrong way. There we go.
And it's strange to think that the Germans are pushing, like you said, that surprisingly Guards did have a better firepower curve, but they get forced back now. Pak-40 has a real beautiful... Look at that line of fire.
Oh, that is... that's hot. That's really hot.
Wow.
That's really threading the needle.
And to the north, Pak-37 goes after that Stuart, and he's really quite close. Neither one of them has any kind of veterancy, but he does have... He's got the cover advantage. Ooh, that's gonna be delicious.
Yeah. And this is great for Sombra. He's knocking out the Guard armored tanks early on, and if you knock out the Guard armored armor, there's not really much to guard.
No, there is not. Because like you've said already, infantry is not much to write home about, and the infantry thing gets a little bit better for the 7/16 as time goes on.
Oh yeah, B phase, they get those Italian troops, which are like one of the most cost-effective infantry units in game, I'd have to argue. They're really goddamn good infantry.
True.
Which is funny, because it's Italians. Heyo.
Hey. Got
hey, you make the French jokes, I can make an Italian joke every once in a row.
I know. I'm just trying to make sure that our Roman audience out there does not try to kill us at any point. There's not that many French mafia that we know of. But the Lorraine apparently does not go for heavy industry. He's looking to take down those steel stacks pretty hardcore. At the same time, actually, the motorized rifle, he's right there with the Piat, so that B2's got to move. Never mind, he's fine. And that's pinned, and I'm surprised we're not going to see a surrender. Oh no, leader unit, never mind.
Yeah. He's going to die a horrible machine gun death here. And almost. He's actually quite plucky here.
Go for it.
This is going pretty good for 7/16, knocking out the armor. He's got the factory under his control. And Theoman, he doesn't really have much on the field at the moment. He's actually getting some armor down below, which is on the bottom side of the field.
Long overdue.
Yeah, like this would definitely be the place he'd want to try and push. Of course, there's a Pack 40 here, but he is slowly chipping away at it with the Sexton. So if he just gets more infantry down south, maybe another armored unit or two, he could potentially not make like a complete breakthrough, but put a hole in the German lines.
I would have liked to have seen this Pack 37 get redeployed further to the south.
And what?
Right next to that IG-18.
That'd be
It's
a
kind of
good
a sweet spot that people tend to overlook. It's very defended to the north. You're not going to get flanked unless infantry bridges that gap.
Yeah, it definitely is a bit of a wasted opportunity, especially considering that we got the Humber and the Stuart moving up in the southern side.
By the way, like you said, we definitely see a much better infantry fight for the Germans come Phase B. In Phase B, we are hitting.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we are also seeing Command Cromwell's coming on out, so that is the hill the Germans must climb. And I don't know if they bought their trekking shoes.
I don't think so either. These are mainly infantry divisions, not really mountain divisions.
That's one thing that's kind of interesting. We don't see any Jaegers or...
Yeah, I wonder if SD2 has yet. Because they're definitely like mountain divisions on the Eastern Front for sure. I mean, there's some big bloody Russian mountains that you had to try to get over. But that'd be cool, having like a mountain division of like more lighter equipment.
Or alternatively, infantry. Give me bicycle troops.
The transport would just be like a squad of dudes in bicycles. They'd get like tire punctured, like modifiers. The thing is that they could jump back on the bicycle afterwards, which actually make them good.
Unlike, yeah, exactly. The mobility would be sick.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's like in like DayZ, back during the mod, like the best vehicle in DayZ was the bicycle because it was easy to find, it could get you around ready to be fast, and it was silent, didn't give away your position like a big loud truck.
Or a fart.
Or a fart, yeah.
Pack 37 down to the south, he is going to be engaging both of those guys. He might get one lucky shot off to take it. Nope, Stewart's going to hit him, and that's not good.
Yeah. A little bit pinned down there. The Humber, given the extra fire support, the Pack 37 is a little bit buggered.
Now, interestingly, we continue to see this big push down here to the south for infantry. I'm really not a big fan of that. What do you think? Would the Guards armor be pressed to go down this arterial from west to east along that Command Cromwell? What would you do?
I think Ray's going is probably the best bet. Try to clear the forest out. Does lose a Humber to the Pack 40 shot. I would prefer personally using motorized rifles. I don't really think using rifles in Guards armored is really a good idea. As the half track is a pretty good important unit, but each their own. But it's just going to be kind of a slow slog, I'd say, in trying to clear out these forests of Germans. Which is going to give Sombra time to set up defences. We've got the Marder being brought in. He's got a few nice static weaponry ready to get set up. So Sombra's ready. He's also starting to put some points up north.
Yeah, and that's actually long overdue as well. That was an Osttroopen kind of that died a long time ago. By the way, that Command Cromwell, well, his tracks and wheels are damaged.
Yeah, he's not long for his road. And that Saxon, he's trying to get here now, Pack 40. And he's been shooting it for quite a while. But he just never seems to get, like, an actual solid hit on it. I think he's... No, not really he's blind shooting it. He must have line of sight.
I don't think he does.
Yeah, he sees it, so he's getting accurate shots, at least. It's not like blind fire artillery. It's a rather...
There we go.
Whoa! Never mind.
But the Command Cromwell goes down, so all things considered, that's still fine. I mean, Sombra, if he trades out an AT gun for a high-value tank like that, that works.
Yeah, just roads a critical hit, yeah. Jeez. But yeah, that AT gun definitely paid itself off. That's not too much of an issue. And we are seeing Harris being brought onto the field.
Yeah, curiously enough, we also see a 17-pounder down to the south. Do you think that maybe it's a kind of a weird decision?
Yeah, it's a pretty weird decision. I mean, there's the Marder, you could argue, but...
Yes, but watch this IG-18 take it out even before it fires a shot.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit of an odd choice. I mean, we're getting 7/16, you really need more of that infantry fire support, aka Shermans.
Also to the north, it looks like the Germans are taking that canal. There's that kind of infantry Cromwell that's trying to kind of line up and get some shots off on this Osttroopen. which, don't get me wrong, is decent enough, but when you have a 35S coming on in, that is not what you want to be dealing with.
Oh no, oh
Oh,
no.
whoa! Did you know there's a Verframen?
Oh yeah, there's a little Verframen, and he's roughing. And those rifles have just been rammed. I don't even know what rammed means, but I'm gonna go with that
I believe it means noodles for college students.
Yeah, like 20 cents cheap food.
Yeah.
Well, okay,
Yeah.
actually, what does ramen mean, though? Like, what's the translation?
Off the top of my head, I couldn't say you for sure. I think Verf is kind of like throwing, but I might be wrong.
Rocket? Like, artillery?
You know
explosives?
What? Folks, come back on Thursday. I'll be happy to tell you then.
Okay, guys. It's such a fun name.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Well, what was the... Oh my gosh. The German version of the Katyusha. It was something basically like a mini... I can't even think of it at this point.
The Weiglichtswerfer?
The Vielfachwerfer.
The Vielfachwerfer, yeah, for 21st.
Yeah, it's like the rain thrower or something like that.
Oh,
There's
yeah,
a surprisingly musical thing behind it.
Yeah, and you got Rheinwerfer, which is Sequence Werfer.
Yes. Yes, true.
Great name.
Lorraine, in the meantime, I'm surprised he's not been trying to engage his motorized rifle leader, and for that matter, I can sort of understand why the Germans aren't pushing. Because having that first row of factory buildings between them and the guards is definitely going to play better for them in the long run.
Yeah, yeah.
But part of me wants to just clean that up.
Yeah, 7/16. It's really hard to, like, push once you got, like, the +1 for 7/16 phase. You're so goddamn slow in pushing. It takes for bloody effort to take any ground. So usually it's just a slow, steady, you know, grinding down.
Well, there's a B1 out in the open. He's going after Harris. Slowly, but he's going after Harris.
It's going to be rather tough to penetrate it frontally, but possible. Oh, I think it might be a technical side shot, actually.
Yep.
Oh, jeez. And no anti-air to speak of, and no airplanes either, so that B1's going to get the kill completely scot-free.
I was going to say, for half a second, I thought they might have killed the... Actually, the martyr might go down. He might be giving himself up for the cause. But no, that no command 17-pounder, that one dude's got an awful lot on his plate.
Mm-hmm. It's rather stressful job being the last guy alive.
I believe the Verframen is kind of coming back again. Lucky little vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
That looks like it looks like it's mounted on the back of a universal carrier, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like some weird French munition tracker they used to its... You know, the Germans obviously recaptured. I always think it looks like a frog. Like a sleepy frog.
A sleepy frog?
Yeah, it got like little eyes, you know? Like the two, like, bulbous eyes, sort of. Like the domes in the front of the vehicle.
I can see what you're saying.
Yeah. And it's hard to see because it's in a bush. But like...
Well, that just means it's worth more, right?
Oh, yeah. It's worth much more.
2, at least.
Mm-hmm. But a Werframen is like, it's a really important unit for 7/16, even though it's extremely card inefficient, as you only get one per card. It's so important because it can do stuff like that. I mean, it's a little bit overkill, killing that one 17-pounder, but it does so much damage, and it completely shuts down any push whatsoever, for only 85 points.
Indeed. To the north, by the way, we do see a resurgent guards armored, at least I would argue, Sherman 5, Sexton, Infantry Cromwell, all very, very strong opportunities to kind of push back along this canal. But then again, you have to think to yourself, congratulations, you take the canal, so what?
Yeah, it's rather a thin strip of land, and it's rather hard to usually push along the canal. I understand why he's doing it, because he's trying to relieve pressure from the southern side, but it's gonna be tough, because Theoman, he can't really push factory. That's just an absolute death risk most of the time. Down south, I mean, he's already tried pushing a few times, so he's been forced back. So I think he's really banking on this canal push to be a saving grace. But he doesn't really have anything to really back up. I mean, he has a few infantry in its share, but none moving up at this moment.
But is that really safe to say that he's been seriously pushing in the south? I kind of feel like him pushing in the south was kind of a bits and pieces thing. He was almost testing the resolve for Sombra to see, oh, you actually have troops here, and then yes, after guy after guy after guy dies.
Yeah, and he did take some big losses, losing Harris a lot of it is Cromwell's, all the infantry in those pushes. It hasn't been a cost-efficient push whatsoever. But he's getting another Sherman up to the north and more infantry, so maybe he can pull something off. Maybe.
I might have to eat my hat about this B2, by the way. He's been, first of all, he's been there for quite the entire time. He's barely been engaging in terms of anti-tank. There we go, and he fires one anti-tank shot and takes out that Stewart. I have to take back everything I said about him.
And his Sherman up north has just got completely buggered by the B run. And the Armada is trying to finish him off, but to no luck, same with VS-35.
You know, the same thing just happened to my car. The motor blew up, and now it won't go anywhere.
That sucks.
Yeah, it happens. You know, it was just fine. 279,000 miles later, it happens. Oh, yeah. In the meantime, though, this Martyr is not proving himself very talented and ends up being the 35S that takes him on out.
Another B run. And I'm really quite surprised we're not seeing any anti-air, because this is going to be... Okay, he's got a Tempest, which is good, but...
There's an 88 out, though.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not so good. I think 88 won't be enough to rout the Tempest by itself.
This will make him a little uncomfortable, I would think.
There's a Messerschmitt, yeah, and the Messerschmitt's just going to clear him up.
Oh, no D520. That's right, we have an actual airplane here.
And that's an actual airplane. Actually, Tempest is going to outrun the Messerschmitt. As a good call there from Theoman, because you're not going to really win in a turn fight against a 2-star Messerschmitt with no anti-air support.
Well, even if he did turn back around, I mean, there's no point to risk it. You might as well just keep the aircraft there just in case for later.
Yeah. But
that has stalled the guards yet again. You can see right now Sombra is taking the lead, rather hefty, 750 some odd ticket advantage here.
And he's been knocking out the guards armored, and that's guards armored can't do anything without the armor. So yeah, that's really been bugging Theoman up.
The ironies abound. Verframen fires again. You can just see wherever he launches rockets, kind of looks like a vision of hell for about 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And the LEFH is looking to try to find that Sexton. I don't know that he will necessarily.
Yeah, and same time, you can't really counter battery a Sexton, because it's an armoured artillery unit. You really don't take that much damage. Even morale damage from like a medium howitzer like the LEF-18, so I don't know why he's trying to do that.
Maybe he's trying to go after that artillery truck. Or the ammunition truck. Maybe. Probably not, but I'm giving a benefit of the doubt here. Oh, Messerschmitt's going to die.
Damn, that was a really good call-in on that Tempest. Just in the nick of time to get right up the arse of the Messerschmitt.
In the meantime, Sexton's looking to find that Flak 88, but if you are an artillery piece, you're largely proving ineffective right now. Most talented guy so far might have actually been that 50mm mortar.
Yeah, he pretty much run the factory, I'd say, early on, starting up those initial motorized rifles and riflemen that Theoman are bringing in.
And not for nothing, I'm trying to think about anything else that Sombra really needs to bring in. I mean, he's got a nice defensive line. It's a little hit or miss, kind of like helter-skelter. You want to look at right now, there still are nice little gaps here and there that if the guards could string together an effective attack, they'd be quite screwed.
Yeah, but at the same time, anytime like guards armored are going to make a push, we're going to see like 1 or 2 B runs just come in and just completely shut that down. So I don't really think there's many good gaps that Theoman can really push unless he gets some better anti-air.
Well, and he's not going to get it by sending a damaged Sherman in unprotected against the Martyr and B2. And more anti-airs being brought on in. I think Sombra is a smidge too late, unfortunately, with that anti-air. But regardless, you sacrifice a ME-109 ME-109 to a Tempest. I mean, big deal. You've taken out so many armored vehicles.
Yeah.
You're definitely ahead of the efficiency.
He's got some anti-air as well now, so that should really stop. I mean, 2 Flak 88 is usually pretty good for anti-air coverage. I mean, you probably want like a cannon unit, like a
20mm kind of thing. Yeah.
Like a 37mm sprinkled in as well, but you know, 288s are also, you know, pretty damn good.
Well, B1's making a gun run after that to infantry Cromwell. The other one is pretty much out of ammunition. Never mind.
Not even going to do it. The 88 is not going to be anywhere nearby for now. And the Tempest is going to try and get on the B1's butt. And the B1's retreating a bit of again. But Messerschmitt.
Okay, now don't extend. Push the ME-109 back. Just retreat.
Yeah. But it's no anti-AO, so it's not going to get punished for now unless it's a second Tempest, which doesn't seem to be the case at the moment. Down south, we are going to be seeing another Firefly and some more infantry to try and push this area, but I don't really think it's going to work because Theoman is going to push, and there's a Wolfram in here. It's just going to shut down a push.
Well,
such is life with a push.
And martyrs, and B2s, and plenty of guys to give their life for the cause, apparently.
Yeah. Honestly, it's only Armada it's a scary anti-tank unit. If he can knock out the Armada and he can deal with the other armor, it's just... Yeah, it's just about knocking out the infantry, which would honestly take him a bit of time, as he doesn't really have much in terms of fire support down south. I mean, he has a Sherman, but still, it's not going to be...
Another B1. B1 has eyes on the Sexton. Oh. That was lucky. Never mind.
There he goes. Really got the kill. Oh,
yep.
Lovely.
And you know what? Even if he loses the B1, which I don't think he will.
No.
That was totally worth the exchange.
Extremely worth it. Those Saxons are a real pain in the ass to deal with. I mean, you never usually see Saxons die because they're usually never in a position to get shot at. But there we go. Great hit share from Sombra.
And now we have rocket attacks coming to the south and another B1 attack. So this could prove, let's just call it vexing.
Mm-hmm.
Firefly going to go down? No, shockingly enough, it does not happen.
And I'm still surprised that Guards Armored hasn't got any anti-air on the field at all. He really... I mean, by now, you really do need to get some Crusader AAs up, because his German air domination is getting a little bit silly.
Now, the funny thing is that Theoman tends to run a very balanced deck.
Mm-hmm.
I am surprised. Very surprised by this. We are seeing maybe the vestiges of an attack along the center line, but the Germans, I don't think, should really be particularly concerned by this.
Yeah, it's just going to take Theoman a little bit too much time, especially with all the Ost troop in there. It's not going to be anything crazy for Theoman's middle push.
The funny thing is, too, is that outside of 2 squads of Pioneers in the south, all it's been is Ost trooping.
Mm-hmm. Lots of Ost trooping. And it's not even, I haven't even seen any of the Italian dudes, which is, I think we're seeing some of them being brought up now, but it is quite surprising.
Well, the 5 Viliga, yep, that is true.
Mm-hmm. Because they're such a goddamn good infantry unit. Oh, support Cromwell up north. Just got blasted, I believe, by an Armada. I believe...
I'm looking down to the south because the Verfraumann is going to just completely and totally retard this entire push.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Sherman, there's a Firefly, motorized rifle, and a Recce troop. Yeah, they're all going to just meet a fiery doom.
Bunched up. Oh god, Verfraumann. So, I mean, that's pretty inaccurate.
Well, the Martyr died in exchange, but you know what? Again, still, you have to push into this forested area, and it's a short enough range that the B2 has a ghost of a chance at least of trying to penetrate. So
yeah, and there's no recon down south if Theoman, so he's working a little bit blind, as well as no infantry. I really don't know where he got second Firefly. Down south, it really seemed a bit unnecessary. Like infantry, now he's got some anti-air at least, which is good, but...
Yep, I was just going to make that comment. Now, however, these Fireflies should be able to take out this 35S.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think he's quite got the distance.
No.
Now, I would have liked to see the LEFH actually just smoke up that road, and just even prematurely would have been a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kicking off back in the center, a new push by rifles and motorized rifles trying desperately to take anything here. Mortar is completely Winchester and munitions, at least HE. And with that, the Ostjupen shockingly are pushing everybody else back.
Yeah, just holding their ground.
There is one squad, Fett, who has about 100 rounds of ammunition across all 3 weapons right now, which I
Oh,
find
I see.
moderately hysterical.
How does that happen? I mean, that's rather good little Oz trooper there,
Yeah.
surviving that long.
Yeah, I'm impressed. Guys, you definitely should be giving them a little bit of a break. Those guys did work for you.
Mm-hmm.
So we are going to see Theoman come back and just kind of string together that attack. But now, at long last, it's taken too long to get here. And yep, and there's the 5 Vidigas right there like you were talking about before. Along the center line.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, even if Theoman does manage to get like a plus run, he only has to get like 4% map control, which isn't like bad in that regard. It's only 10 minutes left on the match, and Sombra has a massive point advantage. Like, Theoman need like a +3 to win at this point.
Yep, and as long as you consistently have the Verframen just firing rounds off, even blindly, you're not going to push the south. There's a second Martyr 1 down here to join his brother in arms. And Sherman will be quite unable to see anything.
Yeah.
Meantime, more half-tracks in the center line. Up to the north, once again, not seeing a lot of munitions left on a lot of these Ostroupen squads. It's so weird to me to see that there's really not been that many losses for the infantry on the Germans.
They're pretty squared away, took out factory without, taking that many losses, which is quite surprising. You're seeing some more motorized rifles being brought in to engage. Maybe with the half-track support, they'll be able to knock out a few of these German infantry squads.
You know, I am waiting for Fett to run out of ammunition. I would just find that just a massive win right there.
Sir, we have no bullets. Great job. Great job.
This is the Western Front, not the Russians. Oh yeah.
Fix bayonets.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it now. And actually, you know what though? The Lorraine is finally delivering effective fire.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's completely clustered up infantry. Yeah, there we go. Just look at that morale damage.
The 109 to the south makes a run after that Firefly. That's fine. Pushes him back. Another Martyr goes down, though, courtesy of that second Firefly. And you know what? You want to go and just say that things are not going well for the Germans in the south, but there's plenty of Martyrs.
Yeah, there's plenty. And once again, it's going to take them too long to get through a goddamn hedgerow to really make much of a difference. I mean,
if that wasn't enough, they're also bringing 88s in.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 88s is going to shut anything down. And that's the thing about 716th, even though they're a really terrible division in hindsight, especially for 1v1, if you do manage to get into a good defensive position, you can set up defenses really fast and easy, as a lot of it's pretty cheap, and you have a lot of good of delaying tools and weaponry, like the B-runs, the Werframens, the Martyrs, etc. Like, aren't exactly the best units for killing, but they're cheap and they're good at, slowing down the enemy and stopping them from pushing.
That is quite true. And you can see that right now in the south. Engine destroyed on the Sherman. We had another shooter knocked out. There goes the Sherman. And that's two vastly inferior pieces of equipment.
Yeah, that's just I think the Marder runs just a Panzer run with a Pack 40 on top. No, I think it's
it was the
French.
It was actually the B2 that took out the Sherman, but I know exactly what you mean with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not exactly a high technology at Marder run.
And Fett's gonna fire his last rounds, and no MP40 ammo.
Oh, that's
and he's completely Winchester. He held the line to the last.
Yeah.
Now it'd be really great if the motorized rifles went to close combat. At that point, like Saving Private Ryan.
That's a really fitting way to end the match as Theoman taps out, and that is a good game.
Indeed, and wow.
Yeah, damn. I think a lot of that, if you look at the history, Pack 37 completely cleared up in the early parts of the game. Actually,
the first 9 minutes is just brutal.
I know, but not much really dies early on. Like, the first 5 minutes is just like 4 deaths and that's it.
But then it starts to become hard and fast.
Oh yeah, later on motorized rifles, and then the tanks start going down, and it's really all the tanks getting killed that completely bugger up.
I will say, Panzer B2s did really well against the infantry, but the Pak 37s, I mean, come on. Those guys, usually just jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Solid performance by them.
Yeah, really bloody good. Same with the Rifleman as well, knocking out 2 17-pounders. So yeah, just solid performance, yeah. Solid performance.
Yeah, I honestly, when I saw 7/16th, I thought to myself, this is over. Yeah. I am very happy to be proven wrong.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But all right, so folks, I think we're going to wrap up coverage for this particular replay. Come back on Thursday for the meaning behind what Werfraumen means. And as well as another game. Actually, Ryan, you said it was one of the... Oh my gosh, which one was it? It was one of the...
Normandy, his first.
Thank you. Exactly. I want to say it's 82nd Airborne and 10th SS, right?
Yeah.
So folks, if you want to see General Gavin over there kind of get his kicks in on Route 66, come back on Thursday. But for right now, I'm Con Ulrich.
I'm Rangaroo. Take it easy.